it's Ebony here to talk about the new student dialogue for the CU 1000 course. Hey, I want to start by saying go Tigers. Here, let me begin by talking about what my dialogue was on. It was around issues of rape and crime. Very touchy issues. And to me, it really did get a little touchy when we were discussing. So to say whether or not it a true dialogue, from the definitions that we were presented in the beginning, I felt like it did in a sense become an argument. People were trying to prove their point. So it started out as a great dialogue. However, I felt like it could have been a little more improved. Maybe our facilitators could have pulled back and say, hey, let's remember here that we're not trying to prove a point. The crowd was pretty mixed. Different backgrounds, different majors, active voices, and some people who didn't speak at all, or only spoke once because we did have to introduce ourselves. So, the active voices were, I guess, people who just knew that we had to do this assignment and, hey, who wants to sit in a quiet room? They really got into the subject. And the subject was good until we got to a point where some of the active voices, I felt like maybe got offended and it became a point prover thing. It became kind of like not even an atmosphere where you really wanted to speak. That's where the reserve voices came in. I think we had people who really didn't say anything, who just pretty much sat back and listened. And I think that it was because people got a little offended. I felt like maybe if we would have pulled back and say, hey, you guys, let's remember the idea here that we're not here to argue a point, or we're not here to say who's wrong, who's right, and judge people's opinions of the subject. So I think that's why we had a lot of reserved voices in our dialogue. What role did I play? I was reserved myself because I just didn't feel that I could talk on such a touchy subject around the people there. Like, for instance, we talked about the words gay and rape being used as slang, and it was open to the floor. People were talking on it, and one person in our dialogue just kind of got a little offended. I feel like it scared people off from talking about the subject or from voicing their opinions. That's one fault I really did find. Other than that, the dialogue was great. We talked. I definitely see why CU 1000 includes this dialogue course, because you want people to learn how to talk to others, because we're in college and a lot of people are used to arguing. And in many cases, you're going to have to learn how to discuss things without arguing. And that's why I felt like maybe we should have pulled back. We could have got more voices in our dialogue if would have came back to the center and remember that we're not here to argue a point. But I do think it's very useful to CU 1000. I feel, however, maybe if we're doing this to teach dialogue skills, maybe let's not choose such touchy subjects. I see why we choose touchy subjects, because it can be really helpful. It can help you learn how to maneuver and talk in situations that are sensitive, because you may be on a job and talking to people and a sensitive subject comes up, and you got to learn how to say what you want to say and get your thoughts out without offending others. And I really think that was the true point of the dialogue. However, I just really felt that maybe we could do something different with these dialogues, because they kind of like you're forced to go. You have to do this. So it's kind of like, give us a reason to voice out. And maybe I just didn't have a great dialogue topic. I mean, because rape is so touchy. Me personally, I didn't want to talk on it because I felt like I didn't want to offend anybody. I'm in a room full of people I just did not know. So maybe if people chose a different topic, I think I may have had a better experience if I chose a different topic. However, my dialogue was overall great. I had great facilitators. I felt that they maybe could have brung us back